Well, Commission's Deputy Chief Electoral Officer Mawethu Mosery is the IEC's Vice Chairperson, and he joins us live for more. Thank you so much for joining us, Mawethu. Good evening. Look, as we've heard throughout your communication about voter registration, the deadline is effective midnight tonight. And let's understand what exactly proclamation by the President actually means, and what can unregistered but eligible voters still do at this stage if they still want to register to vote.
Good evening. Definitely, it is the last day for voter registration today. And indeed, if you are using the online registration platform, you have until midnight tonight to continue registering online. The reason the deadline is today, in terms of our legislative framework, the voters' role on the day of proclamation, as it stands on the day of proclamation, is the voters' role that will be used on voting day. That's where the deadline and the cutoff point for registration comes from. Now, we can confirm that we have received all the 10 gazettes that proclaim the 29th of May. All the 9 provincial premiers have gazetted the 29th of May, as well as the president for the National Assembly.
Now, Mawethu, what avenues are still active and available to utilize to check for your voter information as well as to register?
To register, you now only have the online, because our offices have just closed in the various municipalities now at 1700 hours. But for those who are already queuing at our offices, we will attend to them and make sure that they are registered at the end of business today. But everyone else, we are directing them to go to our online platform to register or to update their particulars. If your address has changed and you want to update that address, you can still do so until 12 midnight. Post midnight tonight, you cannot register anymore. Registration will be closed to be on the voters' roll. We will be coming out with the timetable of the election and how the rest of the program that takes us to the 29th of May will roll out.
Now, Mawethu, 27 million over 27 million eligible voters, we understand, actually registered this year. Did the IEC, in fact, meet its target in terms of attracting as well as encouraging more voters to participate in this year's polls as compared to the previous elections?
Well, we did not meet the target because the target is the ideal one of registering every South African citizen who's eligible to vote. But obviously, there are those who make a different choice of not participating. Therefore, we've not been able to convince them up till now to register. But we are satisfied with the 27.6 million we have. Probably by the time we wake up tomorrow, we'll be over that, given the activity on the online registration. The reason we are satisfied is because it is for the first time in the 30 years of our electoral democracy as South Africa that we've had a voters' roll of 27 million registered voters. And it is indeed a very high milestone that we've reached as a country, and it coincides with the 30 years of democracy. So that is encouraging for us as the Electoral Commission. The challenge we still face is to enthuse all of these 27 million registered South Africans to come out on the 29th of May and actually vote for the government in the country.
And in closing, for those who still didn't want to be part of the upcoming elections, Mawethu, based on whatever their reasonings or reasons were, what can you tell them about the importance of exercising their democratic right in the near future?
Well, first, it is only in this country that you can exercise the right to vote. It's yours because you are a citizen of this country. You would not go to any other country and exercise the same right. Secondly, it is a civic duty that we all have, that we have elected representatives by us. And thirdly, it is the only way to influence country policy priorities, country development priorities, is by participation in elections. And obviously, choosing a legitimate parliament and government to put in place plans to achieve those development priorities you have as a citizen. So it is an important responsibility. It is also an important exercise of rights. As we all know, rights need to be exercised with responsibility, and the responsibility starts with you going out to register, and secondly, going out to vote on election day.
Mawethu, thank you so much for that. That is the IEC's Deputy Chief Electoral Officer there, Mr. Mawethu Mosery.